Okay, here's the issue, all right? Listen, okay? It's not about assigning blame. Evil Fossil, thanks for the 5-viewer host. Like, obviously, it's just as much Fresh's fault as it is her fault that she got pregnant, okay? I'm not here to, like, blame one of the parents. I'm just, in terms of the kid, though, that kid's life is going to be f***ed. And I think the woman, assuming everything that's said so far is true, the woman was trying to baby trap him. I think it was, like, painfully obvious. Would you not compare this situation to yours and Rachel's? No. How? Why? Why would you even... What's even remotely comparable there? What are you talking about? When me and Rachel got pregnant, it's like a huge collaborative conversation, figuring out what the we're going to do. How do we feel about abortion? Where are we at in terms of we're going to stay together? What's going to... Like, that. This is like the question. Not like, I call my lawyer, and even if you want to be in the kid's life, you don't get to. Like, no, what the f***? That's so fucking weird. He's supposed to preach about protecting against the very BS he surrounds himself with, and now he got caught on it. Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah. I mean, in that sense, I'm not disagreeing with any of that. You guys are just so weird. Like, viewing children as like a punishment is just like such a weird, like, now you're going to get what you deserve. You're going to have a miserable child that's the son of this crazy lunatic Asian baby trapper who like is going to be like, that's just that's just wild. Didn't Walter not think he couldn't get Boglin, hold on. I'm coming back. I'm coming on that ass, okay? Did you just put 3 negatives in the same sentence? No, as soon as this computer finishes restarting, you're getting a big old ban. I almost had a stroke reading that. What the... Didn't Walter not think he couldn't get kids? Was that just a meme? Or I am Danish, my English is... Oh, ESL, you're lucky. You're lucky. I don't think she's trying to do that, though, Destiny. I didn't get the vibe that she was trying to be malicious. We also have to consider that she's just as emotional as Fresh right now. If she is saying the same thing in a month or two, then I can understand your point. Okay. I'm going to say this with a bit of warning, all right? I'm going to say this with a bit of warning. Don't use this information irresponsibly, or don't extrapolate too much from what I'm saying, all right? However, me and Pixie got into an argument a long time ago about Tara Reid and President Biden over whether or not Biden Tara Reid. And Pixie had fallen into this all roads lead to Rome fallacy, in my opinion, where anytime I said, doesn't Tara Reid's behavior seem strange here? She said, oh, well, maybe it's because it was after a traumatic event. People can do crazy things after traumatic events. Anybody can be, doing wild stuff after traumatic events. Just because somebody is emotional doesn't mean that every behavior is equally likely, right? So when you say she was emotional, I believe you. Somebody could be emotional after finding out they're pregnant. That makes sense for sure. But the behavior afterwards of, I took 2 pregnancy tests, I went to the hospital, got a blood test to confirm, I sent him the images of it, I argued with him for a bit on text, I had a phone call with him where I asked if he was going to do anything to me. I recorded the phone call so that I could leak it a day later. I contacted a lawyer to see what was going on. And also, I just want you guys to know, I am aware that in the United States, the father has to pay child support and provide for his kid. And also, since I'm here on a tourist visa, I don't want to go back to China, and I can't work for 9 months, so I hope he does the right thing and provides for me until his son is born. That is not like an emotional reaction to a pregnancy. That's a wild set of things to immediately be going down days after finding out you're pregnant to a guy that you've been dating for 3 months. That's wild. People make irrational decisions, though, Destiny. It's been a few days. Let's hold judgment for at least a few weeks. She's not making irrational decisions. What are you talking about? I agree, but to play devil's advocate, if she knows his background in the world he lives in and that he talks about protecting herself at all costs, would it make sense for her to do the same? No, because then she would have been on birth control. What do you mean? Have you ever had someone baby trap you? No, not to my knowledge. Is she supposed to be stupid and not do these things? I mean, my guess is the first thing you would do is you would contact the father and you would try to like figure out, like have a reasonable conversation about the direction you're headed in and what you want to do to figure things out. Not like immediately start like screen capping and recording conversations. And we shouldn't shame her for reaching out to a lawyer. It's pretty dang normal to do that. You get pregnant, the first thing you do is reach out to a lawyer? I don't think that's normal at all. But maybe that's just my background. Maybe rich people do that. Would I do that? If I got a girl pregnant, is my first step to reach out to a lawyer? Well, what is a lawyer going to help you with? It's not like you're in family. Maybe. I don't know. It depends. I'm not faulting her. By the way, I'm not faulting her for reaching out to a lawyer in and of itself. It's just all the things collectively, I get huge baby trap vibes. And the way that she was talking, like, in my opinion, now, could we chalk it up to being emotional? it was either me or somebody else asked that question last night on Just Go Stream. If Walter, flipped around and he's like, listen, I understand we got pregnant. I'm going to do what I need to support my kid, blah, blah, blah. Let's figure this out. Would you be okay with him like seeing the kid and everything? And she was like, no, he'll never change. That's just a wild statement. That's a wild statement to make. I was looking at her Instagram, bro. This chick is flowing all over the world. She had like 7 years of posts on this IG. She's got massive fake tits, edits the out of all of her photos, probably a ton of work done in other parts of her body and her face. She's literally got like whole vacations and to Dubai. She's 28 years old. Like, this is not the way that she's talking. It's like, I'm like a naive foreign girl trapped in the United States. I don't know what I'm gonna do. But bullshit. I think she was a competition bodybuilder for at least a year or two. She's got a ton of pictures of her bodybuilding in the past. Like, bro, she's not just some like poor innocent girl who got swindled and swooned by Walter in a couple months. That's bullshit. She is a professional handler. If you want to be conspiratorial, if you want the true conspiracy, Myron is too loyal. And he can't get rid of Walter. And he wants to do the show on his own. And now he sent a secret Chinese assassin to take him out. And this is how he's going to get him to retire. I'm just kidding. Do you think Fresh saying he had no money was just to throw her off? Well, yeah, because it seems pretty obvious that that she's trying to baby trap him. So he's like, I ain't got no money. I ain't got shit. Like, these messages to me just come off as super contrived and like plotting. But I mean, you always told me that you wanted to be your baby's mother. I loved you and I did everything to be a good girlfriend. Now this is happening, you walked away. I think I want to keep the baby. I don't want to kill alive. I want you to think carefully and take the responsibility. And then they call, take your time, they chat, take responsibility for your actions. How do you personally have unprotected sex with so many women and not have this happen? Most of them, a lot of the women I'm with now, you can feel the thing in their arm. I guess they could have an old one. But I think also the type of women that I go for are going to be a lot different too. Like, I've never seen a woman like this. No offense. And I'm not even saying she's ugly. I don't think she's ugly at all. But I would just never. The plastic surgery and all that, it's really, 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 that's a very, very, very challenging thing for me to do. I probably only like 2 or 3 women like this in my entire life. It's really hard for me to, and also, I'm also overgeneralizing all women with plastic surgery. That's not even necessarily true too. That like all women with plastic surgery are going to be like baby trappers. That's not true. But I think that I've said this before, I'm not trying to lap anybody or do any weird, but it's funny because everybody predicted that, oh, well, when Destiny's marriage ends, like Melina's going to take half his assets. It's going to be blah, blah, blah. My divorce cost like, I think $1,000 or something. Like, but one of the criticisms I've made of Red Pill people is that if you act in a certain way and you say all women are like this, all women do this, well, the only women you're going to find are the women that do that. And this woman apparently is one that does that. So yeah. Would you have tried to convince Rachel to abort Nathan had you not been pro-life at the time? Oh, yeah, 100% we would have. If I wasn't super pro-life, we would have yeeted. Fetus deletus. To be fair, didn't Melina try to get 100K from you? Yeah, but it was after she gave me all my money back already. God, I was so smart for that. Oh, my God. I saw into the future. Do you think Fresh will be a good role model? Everything we know, and most of us agree, he is an awful, likely one of the worst role models for kids. I don't know. I don't know what Fresh is like personally. Also, sometimes when people have kids, they change a lot. They turn around a lot. I've known a couple women that have had kids that have made surprising turnarounds where I thought that like, holy shit, yeah, this is going to be a disaster. And then they have a kid and they chill out a bit. And then also you're like getting older too. So anything's possible.